for joining us. I'm Kevin Nathan. We start with that breaking news. 2 people are dead after an explosion at the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in West Haven. This is per a statement from the office of VA Secretary Robert Wilkie. NBC Connecticut's Kyle Jones is live with new information on other possible injuries and what exactly happened. Kyle, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. We just got that statement in, and they have confirmed that 2 deaths were in a non-patient area. Neither of the victims were patients or patient care. None of that was affected here by that explosion. So here's what we do know. It started, we got reports in just before 9 a.m. this morning here. I'm going to step out of the way, and there's still an active scene behind me up here at the hospital. So we do know that the state police are here, and the FBI is assisting in that investigation. The FBI, we've been told, is not unusual because it is a federal property here. So there's a number of groups that are helping with this investigation. We do hope to get more information around 2 o'clock. So we do know that there is a scene up here, and there is, you know, a lot of activity up just over our distance. So we're trying to learn more information. So again, we did get that information on the confirmed deaths. There were 2 here. Neither patient care was affected by that, and you know, we're just waiting to get more. It's a bit of a difficult scene to know that 2 people were killed just up the hill here, Kevin. But we're waiting to get more information on what's going on here.
All right, Kyle Jones, thanks for that live report. Yes, a very fluid story at this point. This explosion happened, we're told, at 8:40 this morning. Our team coverage continues now with NBC Connecticut's Shannon Miller, also on the scene in West Haven. Shannon, what have you learned this morning?
Yeah, Kevin, we're hearing from the VA Secretary, more from him, Robert Wilkie, in a statement today saying neither of these victims were VA patients and the patient family's care was not effective. Emergency personnel, again, on scene here right now. He is saying today our prayers are with the victims of this explosion. So I want to give you a little bit of a layout of the land here. This is the front entrance of the building here. You can see that roundabout with the flags are the entryway of the VA hospital here. So just to the left of that, this is where law enforcement is focused right now, and first responders are focused right now. So what we're told by some calls that we have made this morning for folks who work here at the VA hospital is that these red brick buildings that you see, these are all maintenance facilities and maintenance buildings for the VA. Again, we were told that one of these buildings here is where this explosion happened earlier this morning. And again, we are hearing from folks who were here this morning saying that there have actually been not as many employees here at the VA hospital in these maintenance buildings because there's been a COVID outbreak here. So a lot of them were not here on the property as far as VA employees here who were working here this morning. But again, what you're seeing is first responders still on scene here assessing this scene. We do know that the governor will be here at the VA between 1 and 1:30 today with more on this development here, this explosion here happening at the West Haven VA hospital this morning. Again, we just got on scene here moments ago. We do know that there has been a noticeable uptick in traffic here. We know this is a very, very busy hospital, really on any given day. So a lot of the traffic around the area is being diverted right now. In fact, the other entrance that's just behind us, the first entrance we came to this morning, just stopped for a moment there to ask law enforcement exactly where we should go. And at that point, there was about a line of half a dozen or so cars that were already backed up. So we know how busy this hospital is, really on any given day. You add an emergency situation to that scene, and of course there's going to be a backup here. Law enforcement is directing other patients that do need to come here to the VA hospital today exactly where they can go. Again, we just got here about a half an hour ago. We are expecting a news conference sometime later on this afternoon, exactly who was involved, who these victims are, and what they were doing here at the VA hospital earlier this morning. Kevin?
Shannon, thanks for that live report from West Haven. We have learned not only are 2 people dead from that explosion at 8:40 this morning, but another person is missing. We want to bring in now State Senator James Maroney, who represents West Haven. He's also the co-chair of the state's Veterans Affairs Committee. Senator Maroney, what can you tell us at this point?
Unfortunately, I don't think I can add much more than you've reported. It's tragically there was an explosion in one of the repair facilities, and there are unfortunately fatalities. We are fortunate that in West Haven in Connecticut actually, we have one of the best VAs in the country, and they've been they're very dedicated to serving our veterans. It's unfortunate this happens right after Veterans Day, a time when we are celebrating all of our veterans. And but I can't really add much more, I don't think, than what you've reported.
Senator Maroney, we have reported that 2 people died in that explosion and 1 person is missing. Do you know anything else in the way of other potential injuries, what the scene was like, how quickly fire and rescue crews responded, some of those other details? Can you fill in any of those blanks?
No, all that I've heard is that unfortunately, and thanks to all of the first responders who are on the scene, apparently the fire is still burning too hot to confirm if there are any other fatalities. But we are grateful to those first responders who are there, and then also to all of the workers in the Veterans Hospital who do a tremendous job caring for our veterans.
And we know the needs are great for our veterans. Can people still go there today? What part of this facility was impacted? Give us the size and scope and how it impacts people who potentially had plans to go to the VA Center today.
Yeah, as of now, it's a separate facility, so I believe that it's still operating, but you would probably want to confirm any appointments before going there. And as was mentioned, there is a traffic backup in the area. On a good day, the roads are a little busy there, so I would expect that it would be even more time-consuming, to get through that area at this time. So I would confirm, especially if it's a non-urgent visit. My guess would be that it would be best to put it off.
What else can you tell us? I would imagine you would be highly urging people to avoid that area if they can this morning and this afternoon as well.
Yes, I would say to allow the first responders to do their work and to, if at all possible, avoid going through that area.
Senator Maroney, it's our understanding the FBI is also assisting this morning in the investigation. Why is the FBI involved? Can you shed any light on that?
Unfortunately, I do not have any knowledge as to why they are investigating. Perhaps because it's a federal facility, but I can't. I don't have any definitive knowledge.
All right. Senator James Maroney from West Haven, also the co-chair of the state's Veterans Affairs Committee. We appreciate your time, and we'll probably be talking again at some point later today. Be safe. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, an explosion has been reported in a maintenance area at the VA in West Haven, as we've been telling you for the last 45 minutes or so. We know 2 people died in that explosion at 8:40 this morning. 1 person is missing. The VA secretary, that is per the VA secretary, the 2 people were killed, 1 missing. Neither of the victims are VA patients, and patient care is not impacted at this point. Connecticut State Police and the FBI have been called to the scene for assistance. Governor Ed Lamont is planning to head to the scene in West Haven later this afternoon. West Haven police, meantime, are asking people to avoid the area due to traffic concerns. Police say this is an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public.